Hey, I want to talk about this 2026 snitching. Back in the 80s and 90s, they had this movement called Stop Snitching, right? And this was supposedly by the street dudes that I'm gonna say I agree with this to a certain point. Like, if you are involved in a crime where you're a willing participant and y'all get caught, it is your duty to hold down your end of what happened. You cannot go in there and snitch on your partner or on the plug or on anybody else if you were involved in a crime. From that standpoint, yes, you cannot snitch. However, in 2026, and because of people like Charleston White and mainly Charleston White, ever since Charleston White came out, and he has gotten such success off being a snitch and admitting to it and all these other things. It's like now it's spreading like wildfire. And I talked about something the other day where I said my homeboy got out the feds. And in the feds, there's a saying, why do 10 when you can tell on a friend? Like that's an actual saying. And if you know anybody that went to the feds, then you know that that's true. Now, to begin, first of all, you were never friends with this person if you're willing to tell it on them. Either that or you just have no morals. So, but in 2026, snitching is the new thing. If you notice, if you're still in the hood and you're still in the streets, and you were hustling back in the day, you will notice that the street doesn't look like it used to look, because it used to be, man, the police would bend the blocks. You would know the police by names. You would know who was on duty at what time, and you would know his car. You would know a lot of things about him because he was very seen in the hood. You don't see that no more. And the reason you don't see it is because he don't have to do that no more. He don't have to be in the street. He got your homeboy. He got your homeboy phone number. Your homeboy gonna tell him what time you pulling up to the block. Your homeboy gonna tell him what you just picked up from the plug. Your homeboy gonna tell him everything he need to know so he ain't gotta be seen. You riding with this goofy next to you. You think this dude, hey, if it go down, hey, I ain't gonna say nothing, man. I know you ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. If they get us in there and they go to questioning us, we're gonna lawyer you up. That's what you gonna do. But then your partner gonna get in there and he gonna tell him everything. He gonna tell him it was you. The first one to squeal, get the deal. That's the other saying. So again, in 2026, the new thing is snitching. So my advice to all you up and coming um, lawbreakers, don't do it. Or do it by yourself. My first advice is don't do it. But if you just have to do it, you better do it by yourself, or be ready to take the whole route by yourself. You know, because it's no honor amongst thieves, and that saying is as old as the 1970s, man, and it's still relative. It's still relative. Like ain't no loyalty, man. These dudes telling it on their own. They letting their girlfriends catch raps. They'll let their mama bond them out of jail and put the house up and still jump bond, knowing that their mama gonna lose the house. This new generation of guys, they just different, man. But another big thing that you guys don't realize when y'all snitching. See, y'all think y'all gonna snitch and just get off, but there is some circumstances where it could bite you in the ass. So stop putting yourself in these predicaments, because if you do tell it, for example, say you and your boy rob somebody, right? And then say they put up a struggle and this person end up getting shot and y'all both get caught, and now y'all facing a murder case, right? And say you flip, you tell it on your partner, and you say, "I ain't the one shot," or "It wasn't my idea to do this," and you cop for a plea, and you get the lesser time, and you thinking, "Oh, shit, I'll be out in 5, it'll be all right." That's gonna be the longest 5 years of your life, brother. Because once you get to that unit, they already know what happened. They gonna want to see that paperwork. And when they see that paperwork and it say you snitched on your partner, it's up. Hey man, you're gonna be a raggedy rag doll from that point on. So that being said, those are your choices. Your choices are to stay silent, take the whole rap, and do your time, 10 toes like a G, or snitch, get a lesser deal, and do some hard ass time. And at the end of the day, you're gonna look up and say, I should have just not did it. So don't do it, man. I know people out there, fellas out there, everybody got different reasons they're out there in the street, man, and they're doing what they do. Um, man, stay in school. That's it. You've been hearing this. Everybody they preached it to me when I was young. Stay in school. I was hard headed, like a lot of these dudes. But honestly, guys, we lose interest in school, man, because the school. Pac said it best. Said school is a white man's game, and they don't teach us anything that we'll really need in life. You're not gonna never use history. You ain't gonna never use history. You ain't gonna use algebra. You ain't gonna use science unless you and if you do, you further your education by going to college and then you needed it. But just right out of school, you ain't gonna get no job where you have to use science or you're gonna need, history. You just need to know how to count and read. Those are the main things you're gonna need. And you can further your education on. But most importantly, man, I think people, at least from a lot of guys I knew, but again, we grew up in a different era. Like it was the crack era that I grew up in. It was a whole lot. It was a whole lot different than these times, man. Y'all guys, y'all ain't got no excuse, man. Yeah, man. If I grew up in this time, I'd be a straight A student. Y'all got YouTube. Y'all got TikTok. I mean, y'all got AI. Why you not passing your class, fam? You ain't got no excuse. Anyways, stop putting yourself in that position, youngster. Don't put yourself in a position where you're gonna either have to snitch or get snitched on. Cause ain't now one of those roads gonna end well, my G.